Reynolds, our double R and thus double 9 resonator, as R is equal to 18 plus 18, which can be seen as 1 plus 8 equals 9 mirrored, or 18 divided by 2 equals 9 mirrored. He is our amnesiac godhead, creating microcosms within the microcosm, as he is a god masquerading as human, creating a virtual reality video game world within the creation of his own mind. This metaphor is an important comparison to the creational abilities within us all. Are you a 9 or a 7 trapped in a 9's world? Perhaps you're even an 8, a being which corresponds with the Godhead to keep creation moving, to make sure the code doesn't have any holes or cracks or deja vus present. Perhaps you keep existence moving in all directions infinite. Perhaps we all do to some degree. Reynolds is set to star as Deadpool in the upcoming X-Men Wolverine prequel. Deadpool is aesthetically a Spider-Man clone and thus resonates a higher vibrational alien consciousness. At the end of the 9s, Reynolds is transported to the Nexus, which is seen as an almost identical version of the 2001 Stargate, in which Dr. Dave Bowman traverses in the famous Kubrick scene. The double pyramid, as above and thus so below. Reynolds is a hunter of the shape-shifting Prince of Vampires in Blade Trinity, a film produced by Wesley Snipes' Amun-Ra Films, tying the immortal serpent imagery to ancient Egypt. They resurrect Dracula in a tomb located in the Syrian desert, enhancing the mental image of an ancient Anunnaki Stargate device that may in fact be buried under the sands of that region to this very day, and may be the true motive behind America's relentless pursuit to occupy the region, using oil as a scapegoat for their true intentions.
Dracula means son of dragon, making the most famous vampire resonate the dragon axis or cosmic serpent, forming the cube of space. The Great Pyramid, in one belief system a resurrection tomb, is indeed 8-sided.
In one prominent conspiratorial circle, it is widely believed that the 13 illuminated families, or what some might consider the Merovingian bloodline, is a clan of humans with a variation of genetics in which almost 50% of the phenotype the beings exhibit is representative of an ancient alien race, which hybridized the DNA of Neanderthal-type beings, leading to the creation or genesis of the modern human being. This bloodline can be traced back to the pharaonic lines and beyond into ancient Sumer and Babylon. Barack Obama is in fact a part of this bloodline, being related to both President George Bush and Vice President Cheney, and even Brad Pitt of all people. And here very quickly are a few interesting Edward Norton things in relation to altering genetics and the Octagon Stargate. Vin Diesel sports a tattoo with the Necronomicon on his neck, as well as an Egyptian scarab on his back in the Illuminati-infused film Babylon AD. The film revolves around genetically engineering a super-intelligent woman named Aurora that will give a virgin birth to twins, to validate a Luciferian religion masquerading as righteous and God-fearing, known as the Council of 13. Their headquarters are located at Ground Zero in New York City, one of the buildings planned to be designed at the ritual site, that has a pyramid-like shape at the top.
The Hulk, as Green Man, resonates the Egyptian resurrecting rebirth god, Osiris. An Osiris resonator captured inside a vortex emitted by octagons starts whispering the Stargate story.
Liv Tyler, our elfin immortal in Lord of the Rings, attempts to help Norton reestablish his genetic structure in the Hulk, and escapes the 9 using a magical Aquarian-resonating water spell to evade the ring raids with the ascended god Elijah Wood safely in her protection.
The Stygian port block makes a fascinating connection showing the 9-way symmetry of the World Trade Center Plaza fountain, having the sphere sculpture as its heart, to the 9-way symmetry of the Stargate. The Stargate device has 9 chevrons, which resemble Masonic keystones. Chevrons are also the shapes above the King and Queen's chamber in the Great Pyramid.
Notice how the Anunnaki bloodline star, Brad Pitt, and the genetically altered Edward Norton stand before the Octagon Stargate in the film Fight Club. Both personalities being one and the same adds to the resonance of the God with amnesia philosophy.
As below movie star Jack Black becomes the Dragon Warrior and learns the secret to limitless power residing inside an octagonal Stargate in Kung Fu Panda.
Robert Downey Jr. plays Tony Stark, the designer of the Jericho missile in Iron Man. He creates a zero-point energy device known as the Arc, which not only powers his circle-dot heart chakra, but also becomes the fuel for a potential weapon of mass destruction, utilized by the Fisher King, Jeff Bridges.
The scroll is kept inside the jaws of a galactic center monster-mouthed dragon, while its entire image is reflected in the Aquarian water door.
The production company of Beacon Rewind is Partizan, which backwards reads Nazi Trap. Jack Black becomes magnetized in the film by trying to destroy an electrical station that he's convinced the government is using to read and manipulate his brainwaves. Who is watching the Watchers, indeed? Dr. Manhattan, our circle-dot third eye, blue Vishnu-like god, was to have originally been played by our Matrix Awakener, Keanu Reeves. Later, he was replaced by Billy Crudup, our Aquarius Big Fish resonator. Black can be constantly seen wearing a tinfoil hat as protection from this Black Ops harp-like technology in the film. Ironic considering the very title screams towards Nazi propaganda.
In Be Kind Rewind, Jack interacts with the Cosmic Consciousness 2001 Black Cuboid, along with Black Star rapper Mos Def. Further, he becomes the Double K King Kong, who has been spotted atop the World Trade Center with the psychedelic dude Jeff Bridges.
There is an interesting subtlety involving Tesla energy in the magnetization and brainwashing phenomenon, as we see the VHS tape aesthetically linked to the monolith in 2001, as well as Jack Black's ability to erase the content of all the videos in the store and Be Kind Rewind, which is exactly what Brad Pitt and Edward Norton undertake in the film Fight Club, accompanied by a brief picture of the octagonal Independence Day alien ship poster.
In ancient Egypt, Thoth was venerated as a baboon, allowing non-human primates to become synchromistic Thoth resonators. Self-proclaimed goat boy or Pan, Bill Hicks explains the all or totality.
Today, a young man on acid realized that all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we're the imagination of ourselves. The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud. And it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride. And we killed those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up.
After transcending the individual identity, Ryan Reynolds becomes the light or diamond body, just as Dave Bowman encounters these objects beyond the 2001 Jupiter Stargate.
You are a multi-dimensional being of vast, almost infinite power. You, this body you're in, it's just one of your incarnations. Avatars, call you what you will.
Are you saying I'm God?
Technically, no. If God is a 10, a theoretical ultimate, you're more of a 9. Ask.
You and I,
What I want.
we're the same.
No. I'm stronger.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Gods, angels. Different cultures call us by different names. Now, all of a sudden, it's superhero.
There are more of us.
As we reclaim the knowledge of that which is infinite, we also achieve further insight that this reality is in temporary flux, and that we are in fact creational gods who just want to return from whence we came. After this huge galactic education, we just very simply wish to return back home. The ancient doorway we enter during death and birth is a sacred symbol-filled hallway of perpetual motion and spiritual light. These geometries are the markers of an intelligently created holographic universe. We as human beings are part of this creation. We make God conscious of itself. We experience through it, and it vicariously experiences through us. There is no end to the beauty and love crafted within this perfect circle. Every one of us is precious beyond imagination. Let's remind ourselves of that fact every day and send our harmonious vibrations of unity and prosperity to the center of the galaxy. Our third eye is the vortex from which nothing escapes. It is the dematerialization of the self. We are the axis in the wheel of reincarnation. the endless singularity. We turn the spirals of existence. We slow the pace of life. We are the pulse of creation, of inevitability and destruction. We balance the shifting tides of time. Everything must return to the source. We are the beginning, and we are the end.
Habis